So if you're struggling to get sales on Etsy, you may be tempted to run an Etsy ad campaign. And Etsy ads are a fantastic way to grow your online business, but it's very easy to waste your money. So in this video, I'm gonna break down a few things you need to do before hitting that start button on your campaign. So unlike Facebook or Google ads, you're not necessarily creating an ad. Instead, Etsy ads are a boost in the search engine. So when people search queries like this necklace, you can see the top 4 to 5 listings say ads by Etsy seller underneath the title. That being said, there's less freedom, but it's great for exposure, which is ideal for Etsy. But if you don't do these things I'm going to talk about in this video, you could be essentially just burning your money. So the first of 2 things you need to do is make sure your conversion rate is at a good place. And a conversion rate is the rate at which customers and viewers go on to buy. So if you have 100 viewers and you get 3 buyers, that's a 3% conversion rate, which is right around where you want to shoot for, 3 to 5%. So here are a few things you can do to increase your conversion rate. Number 1 is you want to make sure your photos have a good display of what your product is, and you want to make sure you have at least 4 to 5, if not more, images that display every single aspect of your product, just so the viewer and the buyer can feel confident that they know what they're getting. Number 2 is adding a video to your listing, because whenever people hover their mouse over your listing, it actually plays that video, which is a guaranteed way to catch someone's eye as opposed to just a static image. So always add a video to your listing. Number 3 is an obvious one, but make sure your title and your description properly display your product and answer any question that the viewer may have. And then number 4 for conversion rate is make sure your store is properly set up. So having a profile picture, a banner, have all the information set up down at the bottom, have your policies in order. It just makes you more reputable and people are less likely to think it's spam and feel more confident in buying from your store. And now that we have our conversion rate to a pretty good place, we want to make sure Etsy actually knows what our listing is using keywords so that when people search it in the query, it actually shows up in the listing. Because since you are just boosting your product, you want to make sure you're not boosting it on the wrong searches. So essentially when people search necklace, you don't want to have a product for like a knitting thing show up on that query. So let me show you 4 places that you need to optimize your keywords. And if you want a really good Etsy specific keyword research tool, I use Allura. It can be found at allura.io. There's a link in the description below. All you need to do is search your keyword and it shows you some stats. So it's a really good tool to make sure you're targeting the right keywords that will actually get you some sales. So within your listing, under your images, if you hover over an image and hit this little pencil button, you can pull up some alt attributes. So this is text associated with your image. Make sure you're adding some keywords here. A lot of people forget that and not know about that. So that's 1. Number 2, title. 3, description. And it's important you just don't keyword stuff. You implement them into the description. So use them that they flow easily in sentences and not just have a list of keywords. That's spammy and no one likes that. And then finally, under your tags, you're allowed to use 13 tags, and I would recommend using all 13 just because that's what you're given, and there's no harm in adding more, but there is harm in adding less. And there may be a few other places here and there that you can use keywords, like in your store description and stuff like that, but those are the 4 main for your listing in specific. So after you do all that, your listing should be at a pretty good place for running Etsy ads. But I would recommend when you just get started, start low and just do like $1 a day, see how good it does, and make sure you're only applying to listings that 1, have sold really well or you think will sell really well, and 2, have a profit margin to make it profitable. I have a few listings that are only $1, so obviously I don't run ads to that because it's not going to be profitable. I make sure it's only $5 and above, that way I can get my money back. And then once you start seeing results, you can start bumping up the budget and hopefully take it to like max and get a whole bunch of sales. But keep in mind that Etsy ads are not very customizable, so there's a very good chance that you won't see any sales at all. If that's the case, just keep optimizing your listing so you can increase your conversion rate, kind of play around with it, maybe don't show some on your ads and do show some other listings. So kind of analyze over time to see what is the best optimization for the campaign. But if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I hope you enjoyed this video and appreciate you for watching. Thanks.